USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show, starring Ian Pelham Turner and Helena CHARD. Brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence, Investors in People.
Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome. My name is Ian Pelham Turner.
And I'm Helena CHARD.
And this is the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show. So let's roll the credits and get on with the show. And as always, today, Helena's got some more great news stories, the royal stories. What is happening with the royal family?
So Ian, there's lots and lots going on. I'm just going to give a small royal roundup of what's been happening. And I was giving a lot of thought to, obviously, King Charles and Queen Camilla, and it's been just over a year. And I think, hasn't it been a success? I think it's been incredibly good. And just thinking about who's around him, who's supporting him. And there's talk about Charlie's Angels, which I thought was very clever, of all the people that are supporting him. There's a lot of very strong women, which goes without saying in a sense, because obviously King Charles, brought up as Prince Charles, had his grandmother who brought him up. And so if you think about, there's Anne, who is his right-hand man, woman. There's Queen Camilla, who's there helping him all the time, and the Duchess of Edinburgh and Princess Catherine, Princess of Wales, always working really, really hard. But I wanted to bring in the Duke of Edinburgh as well, and I think the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh actually, they're very low-key and they do a huge amount of work. In fact, the Duke of Edinburgh, that's the Queen's youngest son, he is the third hardest working royal as it's perceived. And they never do anything wrong. And I think safest pairs of hands, really. Not the case as it was a while ago, but they've done so much. And obviously they've been to Turkey and Bahrain recently, and that's to promote the Duke of Edinburgh Award. And we've had Duchess of Edinburgh in Ethiopia, doing things for eyesight, trying to prevent blindness. And I just think they're an amazing support network to him. So I just wanted to bring that up. Yep. Moving on to Movie Glitter. So the Royal Foundation and the Prince and Princess of Wales have actually appointed Dame Pippa Harris. Now, she's going to be a director for the Royal Foundation, and she's a real eminent figure in showbiz and is going to be giving advice on the artistic side. And I have heard rumours about the Royal Foundation being patented, lots of different little areas. So that's sort of an indication that there may be an event that's taking place in America very soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing
that's the case. And I think she's
either
president or chair of BAFTA as well, this lady.
Yeah, she is. And what's that, the one with the babies? Call the Midwife, which is a brilliant programme in the UK, and she's always, a big thing on that. So moving on, I wanted to mention, now everyone's been talking about this, so season 6 of The Crown coming to Netflix. Now, people are slightly worried about it. I haven't seen it, so this is just reports. This is reporting as I've seen it. So November the 16th, part 1 begins, and obviously this is going to be covering the death of Diana, so 1997. It is going out 2 days after Charles's 75th birthday, so it's slightly uncomfortable timing. Netflix, true to form, doing that. But it's slightly. I feel sorry for the boys, as in Prince William and Harry, and Diana is supposed to be coming to see Prince Charles, and also the late Queen Elizabeth as a ghost. So she's appearing as an apparition. And she speaks to both Charles and the Queen. And I think it is slightly uncomfortable, I have to say. Prince William has said that he is appalled by it, and he's not looking forward. He's sickened. He refuses to watch it. I get that. But because everyone's got their personal, private moments.
And it is very controversial, this bit. Absolutely. And I think, obviously I knew Diana, I worked with Diana, and I think the reality is that not even she would want something like this either.
I just think it's awful. I mean, the only thing I would say is that everyone was moaning about it. It's not a documentary, really, and they needed to put something on it to say that. But now this is obviously a dramatisation. That's the only good thing. But I don't know. It also will cover Kate and William when they met at the university. So there'll be different things as well. But that's season 6. And so I look forward to that. And I also want to speak about Queen Camilla. I think not very much is really spoke. She does such a lot of good. And as you know, Ian, as well, she is really good fun and really engaging. But what I love about her, she champions the importance of literacy, and it obviously creates life opportunities. And recently, she sent this wonderful poem to Sir Lenny Henry, and it's to do with a new writing competition called 500 Words. So if you're between 5 and 11, to write a story, and you don't have to worry about grammar or anything like that. It's really just to inspire imagination, creativity and celebration. And you've got until November the 10th to do this. I think it's amazing, and she's so fabulous. She has poetry together, and in fact she's part of the vice patron of the Royal Commonwealth Society, and I think since 2013 there's the essay competition, which is all part of the Commonwealth. So I think it's really admirable.
Excellent.
I just feel, so that is my Royal Roundup. We have lots and lots more. But until next time, I know we've got a snappy show.
We have got a snappy show today, and we will talk again in a minute. Okay, and now we move on to some of the most incredible stories that we've both found this week that I think will be of interest to our audiences right across the world at the same time. And strangely enough, we have a guest on today, Dame Elizabeth Negus. And Dame Elizabeth Negus is going to be one of the judges to judge this royal competition that you were just talking about.
Fabulous. Is that 500 words?
500 words.
One? Oh, I love that.
How about that?
Oh, that was meant to be, wasn't it?
It was meant to be today.
I'm so excited about it. Oh, I can't wait to hear.
Excellent. But we first start off today with Frances Betancourt Meyers. This lady, she is the richest lady in the world. She's worth $87 billion. And she was really, her money has come from her grandmother and from L'Oreal, her grandmother started L'Oreal, and so she's inherited this incredible fortune at the same time. And really, basically, the money came from just a 1/3 stake in L'Oreal. Have you ever used L'Oreal? Do you like L'Oreal?
Yeah, I use L'Oreal, definitely. I heard, do you know, she's 70. I think she looks incredibly good for 70. Not that 70 is old, but
She
Yeah,
does,
she
but
does
I'm
look amazing.
72. I hope I look.
No, you don't look like her.
No, I don't look like her. But the reality is that in the past year, her wealth went up $16 billion.
But do you know, I looked into that a little bit as well, because I think the brand has bought up shares in different companies as well, so that may be the reason. Well, it probably is the reason.
Yeah.
And I know that they bought into Prada, and that is a really luxurious product.
Yeah.
So now not just the perfume, but the skincare range has just come out.
So it's amazing. So perhaps I should start using L'Oreal. I don't know. I mean, it's a thing.
Good.
But anyway, we will move on. We will move on swiftly. It's now been decided that the most expensive suite in a hotel in London is the Royal Suite at the Lanesborough Hotel. And this cost £26,000. Yes, you said it, £26,000 a night. And apparently recently, when this first was formulated, one billionaire decided to have 3 weeks there as well. I think, my goodness me, so what it is like to have money. But apparently, this is something I'm sure you will enjoy, because wherever you are, if you come in by train into London, for example, you're picked up by a butler and you're taken by Rolls-Royce Phantom to the hotel. And then you see this incredible hotel, 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, food to die for. The only one hitch, and there's a hitch to this, it doesn't include breakfast.
I think it's incredible. So you can have free-flowing Dom Perignon
Yes.
the whole time and no breakfast, which
Absolutely.
I think is amazing.
So and apparently it's this suite of bedrooms is all for the technophiles, because everything is hidden away, but including the televisions. So the televisions, you can see the television in each bedroom, but they're hidden behind paintings. And so when you want the television, the painting disappears and up comes the television. So it's the most amazing things. And it has Victoria. So Victoria is a man who is the royal butler for these as well. And he does 7-course meals for them. So I think...
And no breakfast.
Lady
I
CC,
still can't believe it.
you're in the lap of luxury if we
Can
could
you
ever get
imagine?
there.
I know, and everything's gold leaf apparently, and obviously you've got all the antique paintings, so it's the finest sort of period detail, which is beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I think occupation is something like 60%, and so you're looking at about 6 million just from that one suite, one royal suite, which is.
So it's amazing, and the reality is the only thing that made me laugh when I was doing the research on this was no breakfast. So I mean, so you could just imagine at the end of the sort of the night's stay, and you've had Dom Perignon coming out of your ears. You've had 7-course meals all day and all night. It's a 24-hour butler service as well. But at the end of the day, no bacon butties in the morning. You know.
Not for me. I'm an absolute breakfast person. I wonder what it says then, why they don't do breakfast.
I don't know. Anyway, we move swiftly on to another doyen of the past, but it's the Elvis Presley exhibition at the London Arches at London Bridge. And so this is a collection of that's come straight from Memphis, from his home. Graceland's, and really has a whole series of about 400 different artifacts. So you used to sort of know some Elvis lookalikes at some times.
Some, hundreds, absolutely hundreds. Some of them absolutely brilliant, I have to say. But I think this is incredible because you don't have to go to Graceland now to sort of, really sift through his legacy.
Well, absolutely. And so there's a lot of photographs. There's his gold lame jacket. I would love to have his gold lame jacket. But also his Ferrari Dino has turned up as well as part of it. So, it's basically someone who, and I used to be a great fan of Elvis Presley. And I used to buy most of his records as well. So, and I remember, strangely enough, the day he died. I used to drive an old Beetle car, and my Beetle car broke down on the A2 up the main road into London. And as I got to a petrol station, there was the sign on the petrol station saying Elvis Presley has died. So there we go. Anyway, we move on swiftly one more time. It's Madonna now.
This is Madonna. I have got lots and lots of friends that have seen Madonna. In fact, is she on tomorrow night as well? But she's so it's been
and then
such
she's
a big
coming back
thing.
again as well in December.
She is, and she's been urging fans to unite in light and love as the tour opens. So yeah, which is a great thing, and she has her children.
Absolutely, 4 of her 6 children are coming on stage as well to perform, and so I don't know that much about Madonna to be perfectly honest, but so apparently she opens up the concert with Nothing Really Matters, and then goes into The Groove.
Yeah, and it's a big stage performance, lots of torsos and dancing, and I mean she's so good, isn't she? But to bring in her children, apparently one of her twins is an incredible dancer, so they've got this whole setup, and I think unfortunately she overran time-wise because of technicalities, and she may be fined £300,000.
Oh my goodness me!
At O2, which is not so good. But I have heard good news as well that she's going to be heading one of our big concerts next year, I think.
Okay.
Glastonbury, that's
Glastonbury. Well, there we go.
But she's great. I mean, she's been through so many. In fact, she used to absolutely love Princess Diana.
Absolutely. Well, that's our news roundup for the moment. We're just going to take a short break, and then we're going to bring on Dame Elizabeth Negus this afternoon, and we're going to have a long chat with her about. She's a major educationalist in Britain. She's a Dame of the Knight of St George as well, so we've been at those types of functions in the past as well. It's a very old hereditary ceremony and group of people, very, very important people from across the world.
I wonder if she knows Queen Camilla.
Well,
500
who
words.
knows?
Or Lenny Henry.
We will come back soon. Okay, so now welcome back. I now want to introduce our wonderful guest for this afternoon, Dame Elizabeth Negus. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon,
Welcome.
Ian. Good afternoon.
And you're Dame of the Order of St George, which is one of the most heraldic orders going back to the 16th century. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you very much. Yes.
So you have done a lot to do with education. What inspired you in the first place?
What inspired me? Number one, I have a love for education, and my dad is Caribbean. And if you know anything about the Caribbean, education has always been the focal point. My dad always believed if you have a good education, then you could fly to the moon. And of course, I remember Tony Blair, our past Tony Blair talking about education, education, education. So from a very young age, I had this desire to be well educated because I saw the benefits about being educated, and I had my dad to support me. May I just add, by the age of 7, 8, my dad took me to the local library, and the first book I picked up was Mary Queen of Scots. 7, 8 years, I had no idea who Mary Queen of Scots was, but I was fascinated by her attire, the ruff around her neck, and I was more interested in the pictures as a 7-year-old. And I think from that moment on, I took a liking to Britain, its heritage, its language, and I fell in love with just the lexis of English language and English literature. Yes.
I love hearing you talk. I know you could talk for hours. I love the fact as well that you have judged competitions. We were talking about the 500 words. If you want to just elaborate a little bit more on things that you've done in the past and maybe could be working on coming up.
Yes, I'm a judge for the English Speaking Union. So over the past how many years, I've worked with students in secondary schools preparing them for the preparing their debating skills, their speaking and listening skills. I think it's something, apart from reading and writing, we lack in England, the ability to speak clearly, accurately, and to give answers with substance. And of course, we can go into why this is, but just to answer your question, so I've been called in to work with certain schools, having them to practice debate in schools, where in the end result, we had to go to the House of Lords for them to debate on a very, very high level. So it wasn't just in a committee room. We had to be in the chambers debating and speaking. And my job is to, to develop their speaking skills, to use words that, paint vivid pictures in the reader's mind, to be able to explain clearly and comment, and also to bring in knowledge where history is concerned, culture is concerned, without separating them. So when you do speaking skills and you're working with students, it's not done in a vacuum. Students have to be well equipped in social, historical, cultural background, so they have a good grasp, an excellent grasp of the topic, yes.
And I believe as well you chair the diversity working group at the National Liberal Club. So just tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, with pleasure. In 2018, the chair of the National Liberal Club had this working group, and he chaired it for one meeting. And at the end of the meeting, there was a vote to say, well, we want Elizabeth to be the chair of the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion. I took up the challenge. I want to start by saying that when I joined the National Liberal Club in 2016/2017, the majority of people were Caucasians. If you go to the National Liberal Club now, it is so diverse, it's unbelievable. And one of the mantras was that we would make it the most inclusive club in London. Having taken on the role of chair, I felt it was my job, my duty, to bring in as many people as possible from diverse backgrounds and introduce them to the club for lots of reasons. Whether if they join, great. If they just come for an event and they spend money, great. Either way, we win. So since 2016 till now, I've been a very vocal voice in the sense that I bring in people to talk at the National Liberal Club. They in turn bring guests. I was saying earlier on today that I'm at the point of changing equality, diversity and inclusion to global cultures, because I think that's more appropriate. I was interviewed, just like I'm being interviewed there. What is it about equality, diversity and inclusion? How can we make the club more diverse? So the club do have a recording of me identifying ways where we can reach out to people in different communities, where it's not where we don't have pockets of people that have an exorbitant amount of money and can enjoy the benefits of being at the club, but it's open to everyone. And one of the things I've come to realize in our lives, everyone should be valued, and that money should not differentiate people or stop them from achieving something or enjoying something. And when I look at the club and the people I've met and known and those I invite, they come from all walks of life.
Just to say, you've got such energy. I love that passion, because people need that optimism and hope. So I can see that you're so good at what you do.
Thank you.
One other thing I was thinking as well, luxury brands are taking more of an active role in promoting philanthropic ways. And I know that Gucci's got the Changemakers program, and there's various obviously luxury brands buying into that. Do we need more of that? Because obviously that's more scholarship programs.
I strongly believe we need more of that based on the fact that young people are very much into luxury brands, they're into celebrity brands, so they will buy into it. But most importantly, with I can tell you, if statistics show that there are so many talented and gifted people out there, young people, but what's stopping them is the money. So where we can have all these brands and they're doing things to offer scholarships to people who don't have the opportunities or the finances to do it, I think it's a good idea. It is something that I would support.
That's terrific. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Dame
you.
Elizabeth, today. I mean, it's been great
What a
talking
treat.
to you. Come back on the show again because you're a natural. You're a
Thank
natural.
you,
as
Ian.
well.
I would love to be back. I would love to be back. Thank you very much.
So I think, Helena, that we had a great show. Basically, the new series of Royally Rich Lifestyle Show goes out on ALB UK and will be going out on other places as well. But we thank ALB UK TV and Heledon Castrati for the use of the studios and for the availability to actually create a show like this as well. But it's been another incredible show.
Look forward to the next one.
We will look forward to the next one. So from me, have a good afternoon.
And from me too, see you soon.
Take care and goodbye.
This program is brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes, building confidence, changing lives. Do you share our view that etiquette is a set of modern life skills that are essential for personal and professional success? Join us as an etiquette coach and change people's lives through the power of etiquette and manners.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I find really I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school, this class is the best, this is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you. Thank you, BSc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our clients for their testimonials on the Train the Trainer program. Our exponential and global growth is so significant that we've evolved from the British School of Etiquette to the British School of Excellence, where we're investors in people. Let us invest in you and your career. Contact us to become an etiquette coach. Go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Start your career and elevate your success today.
So welcome back. And here again is the wonderful Philip Sykes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Ian. How are you?
Well, it's been a pretty busy time, as you can understand, with all the royal things, this brand new show that you're going to be part of regularly as well, and trying to put all the different parts of the puzzle together. But I think, finally, fingers crossed, we are there. We are up and running as well. So I'm very, very pleased to have you on board at the same time. So, Philip, can you just really, first of all, describe a little about your company and what you actually do?
Certainly. It's a joy to be here and a wonderful, a great honour. The British School of Etiquette, which was formerly known as the British School of Excellence, was founded in 2013. And our organisation is very, very focused on giving people the tools to be better than they were yesterday. And our organization's vision and focus and philosophy is very much focused on the power of etiquette, manners, incorporating our emotional intelligence. And this organization was founded on 6 key pillars. And the first one is, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. The second one is very much about having a what can I do for you attitude. How can I support you? How can I help you? What can I do for you? The third one is the ability to put people at ease in a very short space of time. Give them that amazing feeling of being welcomed and comfortable. The fourth one is very much, if we all go out there and do an amazing random act of goodness and kindness, pay someone a compliment, I truly believe we can set the world in the right direction. The fifth one is very much about there's one race, and that's the human race. We need to put the past behind us, be very present, and look toward the future. And the final one really is we as human beings all have a duty in this world, and that is to guide and steer, and in other words, be shepherds to whoever we can be, but predominantly for our youngsters so that we can guide and steer them because they are the future. So at the British School of Excellence, we focus on not just etiquette and manners and all that sort of thing. And it's not a list of no's and do's and don'ts and all those sort of things. It's very much about how do we show up as human beings.
Thank you, Philip. Do you think these days that values have changed, that etiquette has changed, perhaps even manners has changed? What do you think?
Yeah, London is a melting pot for incredible people and people from all over the world that have ascended onto London and pay great respect to London. But human beings, I feel now the world's become incredibly digital. People are wanting that instant gratification. And there's a lot of me attitude in the world. And we as human beings have really become definitely a lot more selfish. But having said that, it doesn't detract from the fact that people do still hopefully mind their manners and their etiquette. And the etiquette is very much those sort of rules of engagement, especially when it comes to multicultural world and society, and that shows huge respect. But it has moved fast, and again, just this sort of medium now is having etiquette when you're online, and how do you connect and how do you engage with people, how do you build that rapport. There are all these skill sets that one really needs and requires to bring on that, or put their best foot forward and bring on a very professional sort of approach into their world.
I know that you have a lot of overseas people coming into London just purely to be trained by you, but also you work with children. Tell me a little bit about your work with children.
Work with children, we generally start as an organisation from about the age of around 6, 7 years old. And it's really giving them those quintessential tools. Again, not a list of do's and don'ts. It's giving them that ability to build their confidence, to really put their best foot forward, to understand how important it is to make eye contact with the person you're making or greeting, how if a handshake is appropriate, how to shake hands with confidence. If a handshake is not appropriate, what other forms of body language can we convey to connect with people? We talk about the importance of a smile. We talk and we guide and steer on again, delving into the mindset and giving children the tools, as we would with any adults, on something we've found that most people, if they adopt it, their lives start to change. And that is what we call the 6-second rule. So encouraging the youngsters on our program to adopt the 6-second rule. So, for example, mum and dad might be talking and the child saying, mummy, mummy, mummy. It's important for the mum to acknowledge his or her, their son or daughter, and then go back to their conversation with her partner, and then that child uses a 6-second rule just to slow down and stop interrupting and that sort of thing. And again, we as human beings, detracting into all of our sort of age groups, it helps us when it comes to conflict. It helps us when it comes to making a decision. If we just learn to slow down, we really do start to make better decisions and have better temperaments. And how we connect and really react with that to people. Not only that, it is something that we really need to think very deep and hard about, because our emotions trigger us, and this is something that children will see in adults. You know, it's the old adage in life, and monkey see, monkey do. And if a child is shown something in a certain way, they're going to learn that certain way. And so we very much focus on guiding and steering the children on a sort of a program that gives them the confidence and the ability to make friends easily, to really establish good rapport with the people around them, how to sort of be more focused and more present, because again, the digital world is so powerful. And again, it's also about giving the parents the right tools and guidance on how and what they've got to do in order to complement the coaching and training that we deliver.
Philip, sorry, we're very short on time today, so thank you.